Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about some anticipation I have for albums dropping very soon. Hopefully, we know for one, Giveon is dropping this Friday. So 2 days from when I'm recording this, or at least, like 36 hours from when I'm recording this, give or take. And then Brent, hopefully, is going to be rumored soon. So we're going to talk about both those albums, the expectations I have, and let's get into it. So I'm going to look at the track list for both. We're going to talk about Brent first, and I'm so excited for this Brent album. So if you've seen, there's been so many like TikToks everywhere about people talking about becoming toxic and becoming, getting into this Brent persona as soon as this drops. And I honestly, I love to see that just because they're funny most of the time. And because I like that an artist as good as Brent is as mainstream as he is. Once I started listening to him, because I'm not going to pretend I was on the wave early. I was not. After his last album dropped is kind of when I became a fan. I heard Clouded and I heard all the songs on there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is like ridiculously good. And he was on Tyler's album and all that, and then Gravity, which is going to be on this album. And I love Brent, and I'm so glad that he's getting all this recognition. But it's pretty easy. He's very easy to listen to with his angelic voice and good production and all the harmonies in the background. Him and Summer Walker do a very similar thing with those harmonies to really just make it just like so soulful. And I'm just really, really excited for this album. So let's talk about the track list. 3 songs that are already out: Wasting Time with Drake, Gravity, and Dead Man Walking. So it's only going to be I think 13 new songs, maybe including the skits. I counted, but I'm not exactly sure. But I'm excited. There's a lot of material on this, and I think this is going to be one of the albums of the year. One of the weird things, though, I noticed was Mercedes, which is his most recent single, dropped December of 2021, I want to say. So 6-7 months ago at this point, is not on the album. But Dead Man Walking is, which was 2020, Gravity also a little bit after that, and Wasting Time after that. But Mercedes is not, and it has the cover that he was teasing for a long time with the album, which really confused me because I don't know, I love that song, but we'll see. Maybe that's the intro to the album, but a little prelude, the Heart Part 5 kind of thing, even though that was added after. But I have really high expectations for this. I'm so excited to hear what he has to say. I feel like he's going to go in a little bit of a different direction. I think it's going to be a little bit not what we're expecting, but I'm just hoping he keeps the angelic vocals, the good production, all of that. If he has those things, then I don't care. That one snippet, though, the Wish You Well snippet, I've seen. I mean, man, I need that on there. I need that. But now let's talk about Giveon. He released a TikTok that I'm going to play on the screen, but I'm going to be looking at it here, of him releasing the track list. He made it really extra. He's pulling out the cards from there, so you can see that as I'm talking. But he didn't list any of the features on these cards. I think towards the end you can kind of see the back of one of them, and it looks like there's notes on the back, so maybe it's all the credits. So I'm hoping there's features, because I'd like to hear. I think Drake is probably going to be on it because they've been collaborating. I would love to hear a Daniel Caesar feature, because he did the feature with Daniel Caesar on Peaches with Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber would be cool. I'm not a huge Bieber fan myself, but I think, that'd be fun. But really, I'd love a Brent feature on there, but just anyone who can really bring out Giveon, a Tyler beat or something like that. Maybe Sampha on one. Just people that are really just good artists that are going to go well with Giveon. So I think this is going to be a really good album as well. This one is for sure dropping as well, and I don't know, I have a good feeling about it. He's been releasing good music. I've been really getting into some of his older stuff, like The Beach, off of which album, I don't know, one of the albums, the one with Heartbreak Anniversary. That's a really good song. Both of those are really good songs. And there's one, I think it was I can't remember what it's called, the one that has something heartbreak, it looks like the sequel to that song. So I'm predicting something that's going to be pretty mainstream. I don't think he's going to go super experimental, because this is his chance to get into the mainstream with this album, I think, especially if he has a good Drake feature that's a hit and stuff like that. So I think Giveon's going to get really mainstream. So I think it's going to be more pop and less soul from him. I could be completely wrong, but I'm just assuming from his artist perspective and wanting to capitalize off this moment that he's generating. I think it's going to be more pop oriented, but I could be wrong. I hope it's more soul oriented and more hardcore R&B. But I think it's going to be really good. I have high expectations. I can't wait to listen to that. And another one that I didn't even mention in the intro, Joey Badass with 2000 was supposed to drop last week. There were sample clearance issues. I'm kind of glad it didn't drop last week, because the Drake album was all I really needed. I needed to be able to process that. Also, watch my video on that if you haven't seen it already. But the Joey album, 1999, not something I've gotten into a ton at this point. I'm not trying to say it's bad. There's just so much music that I haven't really been to a place where I'm like, oh, I need to get on 1999 finally. So I know it's a really good album. I've heard great things about it. Obviously, it has like Capital Steez and all of his guys, from his early career. He wrote it when I think he was 16, maybe released it when he was 16. So, that's very impressive. And I love to see good art from young people because it's a good perspective as, a fellow young person at the moment. But I think that's going to be very good too. We're just in a really good section for music right now. We're in a very good moment, and obviously there's more albums I'm not going to talk about right now. They're going to be coming out this year. I have a whole list on my phone of stuff that I'm anticipating, and it's like a whole screen of my notes. So, I'll shout out one. Smino, Love for Rent, please come soon. That's all I need in my life. Smino's the greatest artist of all time. You heard it here first. All right, but the Joey album, again, very excited for that. Can't wait to hear that. Hope they don't all drop on the same. I kind of hope Giveon drops, because he's dropping this Friday. Or, today, whenever you're seeing this, the 24th. I hope Brent then drops the week after that, maybe, and then Joey the week after that, or maybe Joey, then Brent. Because I can wait a little bit on Brent. As much as I want to hear this album, this is one of my most anticipated of the year, besides Kendrick, and then, like, Frank Ocean, if that comes out, and Smino, of course. But this is up there. I really want to hear this, but I want to give this other music a time to really resonate with me as, like, I feel like if Brent and Giveon come out the same week, I'm going to listen to Brent. I might give Giveon a listen or two, but then kind of forget about it. So I want to give all these albums their moment for me because I need to be able to process them and not try to make an opinion too early. But very excited for them. Let me know what you're most excited for. Again, thank you for joining me today, and, cheers to some good music.